Thank you for tuning into our YouTube channel, Cape Coral Cell Phone Repair TV. And we've got this machine that we've been using, the Forward FW361 Plus machine. We've been using it quite a bit, but lately it's been a little too loud for us, and that's why we got the decibel meter here. And it only gets loud when you apply your device on the top. In other words, when the pump needs to work a little bit harder. So we've got the decibel meter here, and we're going to show you what it's like when we turn on the vacuum switch down here. So as you can see, it was making the sound coming out of this like a normal conversation. I'm going to be quiet for a few seconds so you can see that. Okay? Now watch what happens now with the defect on this pump when I place this on top of it. So imagine trying to work with this machine when it's making the sound of roughly 100 decibels, subway train or food blender. That is very loud, my friends. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take the unit apart and get to the bottom of it and repair it, and that will make it much quieter, hopefully after the repair. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. First thing you want to do is you want to make sure you unplug it, kill the power, turn it off just in case. And there are a few screws that we are going to remove. All the screws on the sides, all the screws on the top, and all the screws on this side as well. So let's put it on its side like this, and let's begin removing the screws. You should have a total of 12 total screws removed, and as you can see, they are very short. They're not long at all, so you're not going to be pulling so much. Well, what you want to do is when you pull this out, you want to make sure that nothing seems out of the norm. You want to make sure that your tubes are not, there's not anything inside here that might have gotten clogged up, like a shard of glass or anything that tiny that might have gotten stuck in there. Okay, so you want to look for that. Obviously that is not the case here with this one, and we have already checked thoroughly and we did not see any obstruction inside the tubing, so that's good news. That means it's got to be something related with the pump. This pump here, what's interesting about it compared to the previous models or other machines that you may have like this one that are separator machines, is that this pump that they came out with on this machine, the FW361 Plus, has the suction power improved by 50%, so double. And what the reason why is because it has a dual head pump. So you'll see this pump here, and you'll see two areas here in blue or purple, and that's the areas that we are going to inspect. The way you want to do it is these covers here are going to come up, both of them, and once we get them up, that's how we're going to do the inspection process right after that. So you're going to take a sharp tool like an Disassembly like this one, or perhaps something like this, real thin, and we're just going to pry on it just to get it to come up. So as you can see, I got the Disassembly in there. We're just going to see that. Just make it come up, and don't worry about it. I have mine bent, but that's fine. And this will then just slide up, just like that. Okay. We'll repeat the process on the other side. This side's a little bit tougher because there's cables in there, but you get the picture. You're going to pop it up. And there we go. And it comes up. So I'm going to tilt this so we can get a better view, and we'll show you what we're going to be looking at in there. So I'm going to show you a little bit of more detail of what's going on here. These two sides of this pump are supposed to turn like this, you know. And what is happening, if I can tilt a little bit more, is one of these, which is the one on this side, this metal screw is hitting this wall, so it's not turning all the way. See if I can get you a better angle or view. So you see this, it's supposed to go all the way around. I'm going to push it down a little bit more. You see? That's not good, because it's supposed to freely move about. It's actually hitting the bottom too. So let me zoom in a little bit better and show you what we're talking about here. Move some of these cables out of the way. So this is a screw. And what we're going to do is we're going to tighten it. And I've got the proper piece here to tighten it. And I will show you where to get this later. I'll actually post a link in the description so you can get it. But you can tighten it by hand. You can use a driver. Actually, we got one here. Let me back up a little bit. You can use a drill, but I wouldn't recommend it. Just hand tighten a little bit. And while you're at it, well, look what happens now. You see how it could turn? And before, that wasn't the case, because the screw was loose and it was crashing against this wall, and it was also crashing on the bottom. We think that's what caused the noise. We don't know yet, but we're going to test that as soon as we put it back together. And while you're at it, you can also tighten the one on this side. As you can see, the one on this side, I mean, it feels tight. But now you see how I'm turning them by hand, and they're both turning, no issues. But I'm going to, since we got the machine already open, and it feels tight, it's fine. So we hope that solved the issue. We're going to go ahead and put everything back together and turn the machine on. Put our little decibel meter next to it and see if we continue having the noise. I guess these things are also there for noise, to reduce the noise level, because this is where the noise is happening the most, I guess. I'm not an expert, but we're just trying to use logic and understanding here. Just be careful when you put this side on with wires. You want to make sure you don't crimp the wires in here, so make sure you pull back the wires before you get them in. Now it's on to putting the screws back on. Okay, we've got all the screws in there, so we are now going to plug in our machine. We're going to turn it on. And we're going to test it again with our decibel meter. Okay? So here we go. We're going to turn on the pump first. And as you can see, there's our decibel meter. Here's our pump only. And if you recall, when I put this over it, it was at about 100 decibels, give or take, high 90s. Let's see now. Let's show you what it looks like before and after. So this is with the pump running and suction, and let's see without suction. So as you can see, the difference in decibels was about 6 to 8 decibels with suction created on the top versus no suction created. And many that have these machines will just simply hear that sound and they just can't take it anymore. They can't take 100 decibels like a blender running next to you all day while you're using this machine doing repairs, and they'll just throw the machine away and just order a new one. But the fix that we showed you, it takes roughly about 10-15 minutes. I mean, we actually took our time just to show you on the video and then show you some details, but 10 to 15 minutes repair, and you can save yourself having to purchase another one of these devices. They have been really good. As you probably seen on another video, we put pressure on the top and lifted the machine up, no problem. So the dual head function on these pumps is really good. So we do highly recommend this machine. It's the FW361 Plus. I will post a link to the description of the machine. I will also post a link to the pieces that we use to tighten that screw, because you don't want to use, I mean, it's got to be the exact size, otherwise you can strip that screw. So we'll post that in the description as well. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our channel. We would appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.